Hey everyone, I posted a video yesterday that I had actually filmed on Saturday, and it was an update on my Friday doctor's appointment. Right? Friday? Yes, today's Tuesday. Oh my goodness. So yesterday I was at the doctor, and it was Monday. It was my Monday appointment, and basically what had happened was they upped my medicine over the weekend in hopes that the follicles would be ready so that we can do another IUI, my last IUI attempt this week before we leave on vacation. I just want to start off by saying that I've had so many people private message me and reach out to me, and a lot of people that I didn't know were struggling at all with fertility, and it was really nice to see. It was kind of my whole goal. I shared the video on Facebook. I knew that nobody on my Facebook really knew that it was something I was struggling with, and I think there's a lot of people that we just don't know that are struggling with it. So I had a lot of people reach out to me, and it really meant a lot to me. I felt a lot less alone, and I think they felt the same way, which is really why I'm doing this in the first place and making these videos. I don't know how else to describe it. There's a lot of days that my friends don't know all that's going on. I don't talk about it. I'm so emotionally exhausted that I don't want to talk about it. So for me to want to sit in front of a camera and talk about it, I get is really weird, and I'm sure there's going to be people that absolutely don't understand it. But the way I think about it is, if I would have been able to find somebody that I could connect with and watch their videos from the beginning when I was going through this, that would have been really helpful to me. And that's exactly why I'm doing it. And it even opened my eyes more to just how many people are actually going through this and are dealing with it. So I don't feel as alone anymore. I don't feel as bad. I think after a while you just get really down on yourself and you just feel damaged, or you think like, what's wrong with me? And everyone around you is getting pregnant, and you know, it's just not a good feeling. So I wanted to say thank you, and that's exactly why I'm sitting here doing this in the first place. So I'm really glad that it did touch a lot of people, and I'm going to go more deeper into my story today and what brought me to these treatments, how I had my daughter, and all of those things. So I'm just going to quickly do an update from yesterday's doctor's appointment. Yesterday, I have to admit, was a really tough day for me. I have to say, even on the weekend, and filming that Saturday video, where do I begin? So they upped my meds, you know, hoping that the follicles would grow. And, you know, it's happened before where I've had to up my injections, but I can really say that on the weekend I noticed, my husband definitely noticed, I was extremely irritable. And it's no fun. I was short-tempered with my daughter, which I'm never short-tempered with her. She's such a good girl. Everybody knows just what a good girl she is. But my patience were short, and lots of times the only way I can describe it is sometimes I just like feel it in my veins. Like I just feel tense and I feel angry in my veins. And a lot of people that talk to me, they feel the same way. I mean, you're shooting up with all these hormones and it throws your body off. There's no way that you're just going to get through it and be fine. So I definitely noticed, my husband definitely noticed. I needed probably more hugs this weekend and things like that, because I was definitely tense and on edge. And I think I can still feel it as well. I've calmed down a lot since yesterday. There was no way I could make a video yesterday. I went to the doctors, and unfortunately, things just had not progressed enough. So I was really calm actually on the weekend. I said in my last video that I wasn't freaking out just yet, and I'm really used to this, and I try to be really strong, but definitely yesterday I completely melted down. I had my daughter with me at the appointments, which I usually actually really love taking her with me. She's, I don't know, she's like my little helper, you know. She makes me feel better and she makes me laugh. And usually the appointments aren't that hard where I'm, you know, devastated afterwards. But yeah, yesterday was a really tough one. And it was really hard to have her there because it was hard. Like I completely broke down in the car, and it was really hard to hide that from her. And it's not fair, you know, for her to have to. I always wanted, when I'm going through this and you're trying to have another child, I don't want her to feel the tension and maybe what I'm going through. I don't want her to feel that. It shouldn't be, you know, an unpleasant experience for her. And she doesn't know all that I'm doing or anything like that. She just thinks, you know, I'm going for checkups at the doctor. You know, and that being said, there's a bit of pressure You know, and family will say, well, there's no pressure, but you know what, there is pressure because she wants to be a big sister, and she sees everybody with their, like when I drop her off at preschool, everyone has like their bucket seats with like their little babies, and she loves babies. She would be the best helper. You know, I want to give her that really badly. I really want to give her that really badly, and I always tell her mommy's trying. And you know, it makes it hard. And I had to go to my husband's work right after my appointment, and he took us out for lunch, and I really just needed that. I needed, actually more so than anything, just the break from driving. When I'm upset like that, I don't want to drive, let alone on the busy highways and things like that. And just seeing him and him talking to me really helped me. So things hadn't progressed enough, and I'm definitely feeling the stress because, you know, they upped me again since yesterday. Now I'm on 125 units for the next 2 days, and I go back tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be really hard. When I go there, all you can hope is that it's progressed enough and they can do the treatment, because if it hasn't, then the whole cycle's wasted. I've spent, I want to say like $300 this cycle just on my injectables, because they don't last very long and they are expensive even with my coverage for insurance. So, you know, you'd hate to waste that and to go through all the appointments and putting it all in your body for absolutely nothing. So yeah, I'm stressed that it'll be a wasted cycle. They won't be able to do anything, and then we'll have to go on vacation and it would all be for nothing. So that's a worry. I mentioned in my last video about how in the summertime, I guess it was, that my body overreacted and I had way too many follicles, and they had to also scrap it, and we couldn't do anything with that cycle. And it was the most painful thing to go through, depending on, I guess, how many follicles you had. And at that time I had a lot. They were like, okay, well, this is great for in vitro, but it's not, we can't do this at all with IUI. Like, you'll end up with like 5-6 kids. I think they even said 8 kids. I can't remember where the follicles were on the graph and everything like that, but it was not good, and it hurt incredibly bad, and that would be terrible to happen on my trip or even on the airplane with my daughter, depending on when it happens. I feel like it would happen more on the trip because it wasn't very instantaneous the last time, but it was incredibly painful. And yeah, again, it could just it could kind of mess up my trip, and I'm really just wanting to escape and relax and enjoy my family and things like that. So yesterday was a really stressful appointment for me. I know that we really only have actually Friday. My husband's flying out in the afternoon on Friday, so it couldn't be any more stressful. It'll be in the morning if at all. So yesterday was a really bad day, and I definitely dipped down on the roller coaster. And I mean, that's the whole stress of it. It's not just cut and dry treatments and you do your injections for a week and then you go and you have your treatment and it doesn't work and you cry. Like, it's not like that. It's actually such a climb and such a struggle to get there. And I run my own business. I'm, you know, a mom, I'm a wife, I have a house to take care of. Like, there's just so much, you know, going on in everybody's life. And I think when you're going through this, it just takes up such a large chunk. And I just look forward to it all being over. And I am hopeful, and I do feel like it will be over soon. Sorry, I'm just looking at my viewfinder. I should have charged my battery, and I fear it'll die. And I had to go charge the battery. So I'll try to pick up where I left off, but I really wanted to go into this video and just kind of tell my story of how I started with the whole fertility journey. And I'm sorry if this video is a downer, but I would be lying if I said that yesterday wasn't like a really bad day for me. And that's just all a part of it. So bear with me, and hopefully I'll have better news tomorrow. And if you don't hear from me, then it probably is not good news. So I guess where I want to start is, I knew I had polycystic ovaries, I don't know, since my early 20s probably. And I know that when we got married, I had an appointment already at a fertility clinic because I wanted to see if I could speak to them about what I would have to do to get pregnant, if it would be hard. I just wasn't sure what I was up against at all. And actually it turned out on our honeymoon, we actually got pregnant with my daughter, Annika. So we were so lucky. I canceled my appointment, and we have been trying now for 2 years, I would say, to get pregnant since about, no, I'm lying. I don't know, 1.5 years probably, to get pregnant, and just doing all sorts of different things. Like, I first started off, I I think it was Clomid. It was just pills to make you ovulate, and that was at a clinic that I definitely don't recommend. I didn't like. They didn't give me ultrasounds. They didn't follow me. It was just really bad. I go to a really, really good place now, and you get an ultrasound every 2 days so that they can really monitor what's going on, and they're way more thorough, and it's just altogether way better. I'm really lucky to have Annika. I know that I think I was given like a 5% chance on my own when I first saw him too. It's a husband and a wife, so if you hear me say him and she, sometimes I get the wife. I love having the husband just because he knows my body more. What I've been through, I usually have him, and he always knows what to do, and actually he just always really makes me feel a lot better and kind of can tell me, like if I saw him yesterday, I saw his wife, I feel like he would probably have a better idea of how my week was going to go and what might actually happen or turn out happening. So I wish I had seen him. Yeah, about a 5% chance to conceive her on our own. I know how lucky I am. She's like my little golden child. She's such a sweet girl. She's such a smart girl. I was at the doctor's on Friday and she was with me, and the doctor, the wife, was talking to her all about Disney World and princesses and just all this stuff, and I was getting the ultrasound at the time, and she put her hand over on my arm and said, "You're gonna be okay, Mommy." And she's so wise for 3 years old. If she's like me at all, she's like an old soul like I am, and I just think she's so wise and so smart for her age. And she just, every day I wake up, whether you're tired and all that kind of stuff, but I wake up and there's not like a day that goes by that I take her for granted or I don't feel extremely lucky to have her. And of course, I got pregnant with her right away on the honeymoon. It wasn't anything that we even thought was possible. So I didn't know what I was up against to get pregnant the second time. So maybe that's why it's also been really hard for me, but I know how lucky I am, and I don't take that for granted at all. She was a really small window, a really small percentage that I could have had her, and she just gives me life. She has made my life, and I always say that if I don't do anything else in this lifetime or in this world, I've done it all because I have had her. And I just feel like our souls are just completely connected. And I know it probably sounds, I don't know, I don't care how it sounds. I love that child so much. She's such a sweet girl, and I just adore her, and I hope that I can give her another little brother or sister that she can grow with and play with and love and help and be that big sister role that she really wants to be. So that's kind of our story with Annika, and we're working every day to try to make this happen. When I sat down with my husband yesterday, he kind of really just instilled in me that it doesn't matter what happens this week, and just to not get discouraged, and if we have to throw it all out and scrap the cycle, then that's what we're gonna do, and that we will just go ahead with in vitro when we're ready, probably in April. So that's kind of where we're headed. I really, in the back of my mind, I had said that this was the last, so this will be my 6th IUI if it even happens. I said that this one was going to be the last one that I could do, but really in the back of my mind, I really wanted to try to just save our family the money and try just to gather up enough strength to do a 7th. But after this, I mean, I just don't have it. I don't physically have it. My body is done. I'm done. I'm emotionally exhausted. It's not worth it. And I finally understand that, where I no longer feel guilty or feel bad if we have to take that route. It wasn't a route I thought I would have to take or wanted to take, but it's certainly a route that we will take, and I don't feel bad about it anymore. I know that it's the right thing to do, and I have fought so hard. I've done all I can. We as a family have done all we can, and so that just might be what we do. And I'm finally at a place where I'm okay. I'm prepared for it. It'll be interesting to see, I guess, how I handle tomorrow and what even turns out happening. So stay tuned, I guess, and I'll let you know at some point. If I don't film tomorrow, then maybe the next day or on the weekend, but I'll definitely do a little update before we leave on our trip, just to let you know kind of where it's all at. I do want to film a video maybe later today or tomorrow on products that I'm bringing to Florida, and just hopefully a little bit more of a happy video than this one. So if it's been a little bit of a downer, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And you know, if someone's going through this with me as well, they will totally understand that. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Please stay tuned. If there's anything that you would like to see, or if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments below, and I will talk to you soon.